Hello everyone, in this video we will learn how to use Geet mobile application for enumerators. So first of all, open the application. As soon as we open the application, we will see the login page. In this login page, we have to log into the application by using the enumerator credentials. So I'm logging into the application with enumerator credential. On the right side in the password field, we can see this eye icon. We can click on this eye icon to see whether we have entered the right password or not, and then we will click on login. As soon as we log into the application, we can see this page which shows the location of the enumerator. In this, we can see the location already set in our application. Here we can select villages according to our use. We can select maximum of 3 villages at a time. So here I'm selecting 3 villages. And as soon as I click on save button, here the pop-up comes asking for selecting default village. This default village is necessary for the system to work, so we have to select a village as a default village, and whatever village we select as a default village, we will see the records of those village, and all the application will work on that particular village. So I'm selecting this Ajaypur as default village and I'm clicking on continue. As soon as I click on continue, this process of synchronization starts. In this process, all the historic data on the server gets downloaded in the mobile application. So this may take a while, and please make sure that till this point we have a good internet connectivity, because all this process requires the online internet connectivity. So when this historic data gets downloaded, we can see the continue button over here at the bottom, and we have to click on this continue button. Now we will come on the home page of our Geet enumerator application. So from this point onwards, we can enter our records and use our application in the offline mode as well. So this application is basically divided into 4 sections, that is data entry, schemes, entitlement tracking and entitlement grievance. So we will see all these 4 sections one by one. So first of all, the first section is data entry. Within this data entry, we have first thing as SECC data. Within this SECC data, we can see all the census data which is provided by the government in this section. Right now we don't have the census data provided by the government, so that is why we are not able to see anything in this section. But if the government has provided the census data, we can see that data in SECC data section. So in this all the data which has been verified will come under the verified section, and if the data is not verified, we can see that data in not verified category. Besides that, we have the search text option over here. We can search our data with the help of search text option as well, and we can apply filters from here. We can apply filters on the basis of name, father's name, mother's name, gender and TIN number, etc. So this is all about SECC data section. Next is the entitlement card data. In this entitlement card data, we can see the records of all the beneficiaries which have been registered in our application. We can track those beneficiaries from entitlement card data, as well as we can update the data as of the beneficiary if required. So in this entitlement card data, we have individuals entitlement card data, we have household data, we have dead individuals records as well. So we will come to this entitlement card data category again after seeing the add new record. So from this add new record, we can register a new beneficiary in our application. We can enter the basic information of the beneficiary like name and father's name, mother's name, date of birth, mobile number, and now it is asking the HH number, that is household number. So if this beneficiary is a member of a household which has already been registered in our application, then we will have to click on select existing household. Or if this beneficiary is a new member of a new household, then we have to click on create new household. So right now I'm clicking on create new household. As soon as I click on create new household, it asks me for some basic information of the head of the family. So that is the age, say 55, then caste, gender, BPL, and marital status. When I click on insert, it creates a new household number, that is the temporary household number we can see. Then again we have to continue with some basic details. And we will click on insert. This will create the beneficiary in our application. Basically it will register the beneficiary in our application. Now we can see this record of the beneficiary in our entitlement card data. So when we click on individuals, we can see the record of this beneficiary in our individuals entitlement card data. So here we can see the basic information like name of the beneficiary, temporary EC number, father's name, mother's name, temporary household number. And on the right side we can see 3 buttons over here, that is update, tracking, and tracking register. With the help of update, we can update the information of the beneficiary at any time of our procedure. For example, while applying for a particular scheme, the beneficiary didn't know that the ID cards are also required, like Aadhaar card and election card, or any of the ID cards are required. But on later stages, we get to know that the ID cards are required, so we can update the information of the ID cards on the later stages with the help of update button. We will just click on the update button and we will go to the ID card section and we will enter the details of Aadhaar card and, for example, election card, and we will click on save. This will update the ID cards information of the beneficiary into our application. Next is the tracking button. With the help of tracking button, we can track the schemes for which the beneficiary is eligible. So in this tracking, we can see the basic information of the beneficiary like the name of the beneficiary and EC number. Below that we can see the schemes information, so we can see all the schemes for which the beneficiary is eligible, and we can also see the list of schemes for which the beneficiary is not eligible. So within eligible schemes, we can see the number of schemes which can be applied by the beneficiary. For every scheme on the extreme right, there is an exclamation mark. If we click on this exclamation mark, we can see the details of the scheme like all the benefits which are to be provided in a particular scheme, we can see from here. So it happens sometimes when that even the enumerators or the beneficiary doesn't know about the benefits of all the schemes. So for that purpose, to ease that situation, we have this exclamation mark over here. So within this schemes information part, we can also apply or avail the schemes for the beneficiary. So if the beneficiary wants to apply for a particular scheme, then we can click on applied checkbox, and we have to enter the date, that on which date this scheme had been applied, and we will click on save. So in this way we can help the beneficiary to apply for a scheme. Then in the tracking register, we can see that this beneficiary has applied for a scheme or not, and if yes, then on which date the beneficiary had applied for the scheme, and whether the beneficiary has availed the scheme or not. If yes, then on which date the beneficiary had availed the scheme. So we can track these records from here. So this is about the entitlement card data for individuals. Next is the household. Household is also similar to that of the individuals. In household, we can see the temporary household number and family members of a particular household. In this also we have the three buttons like update, tracking and tracking register. All these three buttons function in exactly the same manner as that of the individuals. Now comes the dead individuals records. So if by chance it happens that any individual die at some point of time, then we can enter the record of that individual in dead individuals records. So we will click on this, and we can click on this plus button over here. With this we can search for the beneficiary with the help of entitlement card number. As soon as we click on submit, we can see the basic information of the beneficiary of the individual. Now we can register this individual as dead individual in our application by entering the death date, on which date the beneficiary died. We can enter the certificate number of death certificate, and we can also capture the death certificate photo from here. And after entering these details, we can click on save button, and the beneficiary will be registered as dead individual. So this is all about the entitlement card data. Next comes the split household. For example, there are two or more individuals in a household, and at some point of time the individuals get married and they have their separate own families and separate households. Then we can split that one household into two or more households with the help of split household section. So we will click on split household, and we will search for our household with the help of household number or temporary household number. Then we will click on submit. Here we have only one individual in the household, but if we have more than two or more than two individuals, we can click on plus button over here alongside of the individual, and this will create a new household for that beneficiary. We will see this by adding a new record. We will take one new record for this. Now because this beneficiary is a member of the existing household, so we will click on select existing household, and here we have to search for our household with the help of household number or temporary household number. And when we click on verify, it asks whether this individual belongs to this household. We will click on yes, and it will automatically capture the household number of that household. Then we will click on the other basic details, and we will click on insert. This will add a new member to a household. Now if we go on split household, we will click on the temporary household number and search our household. Now we can see there are two members in this household, that is Paki and Gaurav, and we can click on the plus icon of any of the beneficiary. Say we are clicking on Gaurav, so it will create a new household for Gaurav, and we will click on save button. Now we have new household that is with the temporary household number 2, which has been created successfully. So in this manner we can split the household. So this is all about the data entry part. Next come the schemes. Within schemes we have check eligibility. When we click on check eligibility, we can basically search schemes for the individuals as well as for households. So first of all we will see scheme search for individuals. When we click on it, we can basically search for the schemes for individuals by using the EC number or temporary EC number. For example, we have the beneficiary with temporary EC number 1. When we click on this, when we enter the temporary EC number and click on search, we can see the basic information of the beneficiary, and below that we can see the schemes information. Basically we can see the all the eligible schemes for this beneficiary. So there are 4 schemes for which this beneficiary can apply in the social securities category. Within agriculture there are 2 schemes for this beneficiary, and within education there is 1 scheme. So like this we can see the schemes for this beneficiary which she is eligible for. Next we can also search the eligible schemes category wise. For example, we can click on sanitation, and we will have to provide the basic information like the caste, gender, BPL or not, and Bhamasha card holder, yes or no, and we will click on search. Right now this beneficiary is not eligible for any scheme, so no schemes have been found. But if this beneficiary is eligible for any scheme, then we can see the list of schemes over there. Now scheme search for household, this is also similar to the scheme search for individuals. Here we can search for the schemes which are meant for a particular household with the help of household number or temporary household number, and we can also search for the schemes which are meant for the particular household category wise. Next comes the entitlement tracking. Within this entitlement tracking, we can search for the particular beneficiary with the help of entitlement card number or the household number and track the beneficiaries from here. So in entitlement tracking, first of all we will see the individuals. When we will click on individuals, we have to search for our beneficiary with the help of EC number or temporary EC number. Say I'm selecting temporary EC number and entering the temporary EC number as 1. When I click on submit, I can see the basic information of the beneficiary, and I can also see the scheme's information and track the beneficiary from here. For example, I can track that this beneficiary has applied for the scheme for disabled person and she has not availed the scheme till yet. Now I can go to the beneficiary and ask whether she has availed the scheme or not. If she has availed, then I can click on this availed checkbox over here, and I can enter the date on which this beneficiary has availed the scheme and click on save button. So in this manner I can track the beneficiary for the individuals. Now in the similar way we can also track the households. We can search for the household with the help of household number or temporary household number, and when we click on submit, we can see the basic information of the household. We can see the family members and the schemes for which this household is eligible. So in the similar way we can track the household, whether this household has applied for any scheme or not. If yes, then has it availed the scheme or not. So we can track these details from here also. Next comes the entitlement grievances. So in entitlement grievances, if the beneficiary or the household has any grievances at the time of applying the scheme or at the time of availing the scheme, we can register the grievances at any point of time in our application. So for individuals, we can click on this individuals and register the grievance meant for the individuals. We have to click on this plus sign over here and we have to search for the beneficiary who wants to register the grievance. Say I'm entering temporary EC number as 1, and when I click on submit, I can see the basic information of the beneficiary, like the name of the beneficiary and temporary EC number. Then it asks for the eligible schemes, and within this eligible schemes we can see the list of all the schemes for which this beneficiary is eligible. So now within this eligible list of schemes, we have to select the scheme for which this beneficiary wants to register a grievance. For example, say I'm selecting the first one, scheme for disabled person to grant lump sum amount and so on. Now we have to select the complaint. So we have some predefined complaints in our system, so we can select the complaint from this list of complaints, or we can click on other if we have some other complaint instead of these complaints. So I'm selecting one of the complaints from here, and we can also provide the complaint description if we select other, or if we have more to say for this complaint, then we can provide the description also from here. And when we click on save, this will register a grievance for the individual. And right now this grievance has just been registered, it has not been resolved, so it is showing under the not resolved section. Within this I can see the record with the name of the beneficiary, and we can see the scheme name. Below that we can see the temporary EC number, and we can see the complaint date, complaint ID, and on the right side we have two buttons, that is view and update. When we click on this view, we can see the grievance, what grievance this beneficiary had. So we can see the grievance ID, EC number, scheme name, complaint date, and what the complaint was. So we can see that from here, and also we can see the status of the grievance. Now next is the update. So if we click on update, we can basically see the grievance, what the grievance was, and as well as we can update the status of the grievance, whether this grievance has been resolved or not. So if the grievance has been resolved, we can click on yes from there, and then it will move to the resolved section. So similarly, we have entitlement grievance for households. So from this we can basically register a grievance for a household. Now next comes the settings option. In settings, the first thing we have is the synchronized data. So all the work we were doing was in the offline mode. So whenever the enumerator or the user gets internet connectivity at any point of the day, uh, we can click on this synchronized data to basically synchronize our data to the server. When we click on the synchronized data, all the data in our tablet gets uploaded to the server, and all the data with, if there is any data which has been entered on the server, we can see that we basically that data will be downloaded into our mobile application. Next we have change language. With this change language we can change the language of our application and use the application in whatever language we want according to our convenience. Say if I select Hindi, then we can use our application in Hindi. And similarly we have another options for languages as well, like Odia, Kannada, Marathi, Telugu, Gujarati, Assamese. So for now we are selecting English. Next we have is change region. So in this change region we can basically there are two things. For example, I had selected 3 villages, out of which I was working in one of the villages, but now I want to go to the second village out of these 3 villages. So I can choose any that second village from here, and I can click on change region. This will basically change the region from one village to the second village. If I want to go to the village, like for example, I have been assigned to 4 or 5 villages. So out of those 5 villages, I can only choose 3 villages at max at the starting of this uh, application. So now I want to go to the 4th village. So what I can do is I can click on this download data for some other villages. This will redirect me to this page again, and I can uncheck one of the villages and check the 4th village, and I can click on save and select that 4th village as default village from here, and this will again run this one time process of the historic data download. And now my region has been changed from 1st village to the 4th village. Next we have is the logout. With the help of logout, we can log out of the application at any point of time. So this is all about the enumerator application for mobile. Thank you.